Okay, so we've arrived at our first example problem from Chapter 2. So Chapter 2 on scripts. And so in this case, we're going to write a script to compute the nth Fibonacci sequence. Okay, and so you can read this part up top. But the following expression, so equation 2.1, can be used to calculate the nth element of my Fibonacci sequence, or the nth Fibonacci number. So we're asked to translate this into MATLAB, store your code in a file named Fibonacci1, then at the prompt set the value of n to 10 and run your script. Okay, and we're told that for the case of n equals 10, the Fibonacci number is 55. So we want to write a script that'll perform this calculation, assuming that n is defined in a workspace. So that way, the user can assign a value to n in their workspace for whatever number they want to calculate in the Fibonacci sequence, then simply just rerun their script and calculate the corresponding Fibonacci number. Okay, so now I've opened up MATLAB and I've kept the text open with the relevant equation down here so that we can see it and reference it. So to create a new script, on my Home tab, I'm going to click New Script. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do before I get started is I'm going to save it. Okay. Before I forget, and we're told to call it Fibonacci 1. Okay, and even before I get started, especially as a new user, remember there's a common source of confusion with new students is saving files in your current path, making sure you're running the correct file. So the first thing I'm going to do is a simple variable assignment within Fibonacci 1. Okay, and one cool feature of MATLAB you'll see, which should be activated by default, is there's a star on my tab because I've made a change to my file and I haven't saved it yet. But if I click in my command window, MATLAB should have an autosave feature so that as soon as I click off the editor, it automatically saves. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is just type Fibonacci 1, right, and I see I get the correct result that x equals 5. Okay, so my file's being saved in the current path. When I call Fibonacci 1, I'm calling the correct file. So everything seems to be in order. Okay, so with that, let's start to write the script desired. Okay, so here is our given equation. Okay, it's a pretty long equation. So the first thing I'll do is I'll break the calculation up into little steps. Okay, so maybe for term 1, let me calculate this first term. 1 plus square root of 5 divided by 2. Okay, and since it's my first term, maybe let me call it T1. So T1 is 1 plus square root of 5. Okay, and that's divided by 2. Term 2 is equal to 1 minus square root of 5, and that's divided by 2. Okay, I'm going to suppress the output because these intermediate parts aren't really important. When I run it, all I really care about is the final answer in this case. Okay, and so then my desired calculation, or the quantity of interest, will be let's call my output fibnum. Okay, my Fibonacci number. Okay. So now putting together is relatively straightforward. We'll take term 1, raise it to the power of n, minus term 2, raise to the power of n. Okay, then that's multiplied by 1 over square root of 5. So it'd be the same as dividing by square root of 5. Okay, and so notice a typo here. That's not t2 raised to the 2, it's t2 raised to the n. Okay. So if I come to my command window and I want to compute the 10th Fibonacci number, okay, I can assign to n a value of 10, and then I just need to run Fibonacci 1. Okay, if I run Fibonacci 1, I get the result that my Fibonacci number is 55. Okay. One of the nice features of scripts is if I want to, say, calculate the 20th Fibonacci number, I update n to 20, recall Fibonacci, right? And now I have fibnum is this big number, 6,765. All right, cool, excellent.